Hello and welcome to my video. Last time we made an icon and I said I was going to make a clock, so I did it right here, and it's a PNG, it's not an icon. This is 16 by 16 pixels, which we know that the browser requires up in the top, and that's all we made it for. It's an image, so it should work fine in this location. In the script code that is inside of the header area, it's not in the body of the text but in the header section. This script code loads before the page loads. I have 4 functions here that are just shorthand. I put these codes in here so I don't have to keep typing the same thing over and over and over again. And some of this stuff can get pretty long. The next function down here is one that's going to do my little demonstration. The last thing down here is a variable, and that's the variable endClock. And then endClock equals this set interval function, and what it does is every 1000 milliseconds it'll run this function, which is right here. And when it runs this, it puts the words Mars clock in A, which is the same thing we used up here. We can actually put anything we want to up here, and then whatever's in B, I just put demo, and then C is whatever is in the title that second. So if it said Mars clock, then C will equal Mars clock. If it was demo, then C would equal demo. So what we do here on the next line is we check, does C equal B? Now there are 2 equal signs here. If I were to make this 1 equal sign, JavaScript will actually make C equal B, and then you'll always be doing the same thing. It'll always be true, and it'll always run this one part of the code and never do the else. So you got to have 2 equal signs in here so it doesn't compare. The A is Mars clock, the B is the demo. And it should be able to change that to each other every 1 second. So when I go ahead and click the file, this is in my Windows folder. So I click this file, it'll open up in the browser. Double clicked it and it opened, and you can see that it's blinking it. So that's all it's doing. So why did I want to show you this? 1, to give you a little bit of code that you can have fun with. And 2, I want to show you that what happens when I go to my YouTube page. You see this blinking, you think, oh, is it going to stop? Let's see. Nope, it didn't stop. So that means that JavaScript in that other program can continue to run. And JavaScript can go and get any information it wants from this browser file. So if you're typing something on the keypad, it can grab that information, and then it can turn around and send it out to a server that it's connected to, even though you're on another page. So I don't know how sophisticated some of the programming is to, like, say you're on a banking page. Can it grab your keystrokes? Probably. And then be able to get code from you. It's kind of scary. So whenever you're doing your banking, make sure that all the other windows are closed, because the browser, anything that's open, you have a whole bunch of different tabs open. They can all communicate with the browser at the same time because the JavaScript doesn't stop running. So let's take a look at trackers. I have a little program over here called Ghostry. And you can see I have these 3 on. We're just going to leave these on all the time. They're very confusing, and it's just hard to figure out what's going on. But you can see it blocked this one advertisement. And so that way I don't have to deal with what can get on here and what can't. But what I want to show you is, let me go ahead. And I went ahead and I opened Mouser. It's a place where I like to get some electronic parts. So I'm going to go back to Ghostry, and we can see that there are 7 trackers. It blocked 2 here, blocked 1 there. So up here, it's out of that 7, it blocked 5. So what if I tell it I trust this site? What does it do if I do that? So let's go ahead and trust the site. Now it's saying up here that I need to reload the page to find out what's going to happen. So let's reload this page. I'll go ahead and open this so we can see it. And look at all these trackers that are coming in just because I said I trust the site. Now I know if I turn some of these off and stuff, it'll go up to 38. Some of these could go up to 1,000. So all this stuff in here is watching what I click on, where I go, what I do, sending that information, and it's like I leave that off. I rarely have to go and tell it that I trust the site. So Mouser still works fine for me if I leave it the way it is, and I've had that there for a long time. So you can see that having a code that's running in the background, you don't know if it's doing anything because normally the tab's not showing you that it's running. Only this little program showing you because we wrote it that way. And if we go in and inspect, this is where you find a bunch of stuff. You can inspect it, and you can look at the console. Styles networks. Now, there used to be a way that I could see. I get confused on this all the time. There's a way that you can see that, watch it run. I thought it was debug, but I don't see it. I know it's kind of interesting. If I toss an error in there, it would start showing the errors on the console. So the code right here, this is one way to check to see if the code is good. Because if you have an error in some of this JavaScript, I could actually go in here and let's just I'll just throw a letter in there. So I pretty much just messed up the script code. If I go ahead and save that. Oh, I didn't need that. Refresh that. So it got an error, and you can see that now the timer doesn't work. So the timer stopped working because there's an error, and you can see that it's not flashing. Yeah, it's a interesting way you could leave like this in there to make sure that your section of code is working. Now I do know that if you have other sections of script, they will run independently of each other, and one will keep running and the other one may not. So if we get rid of this error and I go ahead and save that and refresh, it's fine now. So I hope you learned something here, and you know now. So you guys have a great day and come back and see some more. Thanks for watching.